So, yeah.
Practice.
So don't come down and we'll do that for you, just like we've always done.
I know some of them go to the middle school, do something like that.
So that's exciting.
But, any other questions, comments from Mr. Moran? No, you can't, well, you can't top that young man. I'm sorry. That young man, I understand. I don't know his name, but,
Yeah, I just want to say one more quick thing, because I didn't know that until tonight, so it's a little bit of my emotions coming too. So I didn't realize George Shue had passed away. So most of you don't know this, but I was the guy who replaced George. So when George left, I was the teacher that they hired in the district. And George was very good to me. So again, I just want to, acknowledge that too, because again, he meant a lot to this community and to the school district over many, many years. And for me personally, he was a big part of my transition to the district. Even though he was leaving, he was very supportive of me and just, those pieces. So just again, thoughts and prayers with this man.
thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Ms. Becker.
She's just running behind. She's going to be presenting and if that's all right.
Sure, why not? Shelley, that means you get bumped up a notch.
Okay, so it's 9 to 10 right now.
I'll
It's top of the 7th.
good down there, guys.
Us.
Yeah.
So it's 9 to 9 when it came over here. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Then we just scored. I was like, oh my God, it's 10-9. So if we get them out at the top of the 7th, we win. So then we play Susquehanna on Thursday. So, well, baseball was winning, but now we're losing 7-5. So, but there's still time. Yeah, there's still time. Okay, so as you can see, I get very excited for the sports teams, and we're obviously in postseason right now. Baseball is playing Berks Catholic right now. Like I said, 7-5. Softball, you know the score there. We're going to stay track and field for a little bit. Boys tennis is over, but they represented well at the YAI championship. We had 5 single players and 3 double teams. So they did really well. They all played close matches, and none of them advanced. So track and field, these are my highlights. I didn't know, Carrie, if you had. Okay, so I spent pretty much half a day Friday and all day Saturday at Shippensburg University with track and field to support all of our athletes who qualify for districts, which, by the way, is a lot harder than what people know and think. Getting to districts is a big deal. And we had Parker Dell, he finished 8th in the disc. So I think there's a single picture of Parker. That's Parker, he finished 8th in the disc. Brody Clayball was 4th in the long jump. As you can see, they're all biting the medals right there. Vinay Parker was 2nd in the long jump, broke her PR. I think she broke the school record again, too, in the long jump. And she's a state qualifier. So to make it to states is huge. So you have to be top 2, or you hit the qualifying mark, which is next, pretty up there than the qualifying marks. But you have to hit the mark that day. You can't just hit it earlier in the season. You have to hit the mark during the state track meet, or during the district track meet. So Xander Spillin, though, he was 3rd in triple jump, and just hold that picture too. 3rd in triple jump, and he won the long jump. He is our District 3 champion. So I can't tell you the proudness I felt for all of them and the camaraderie between those teammates and just Vinay hugging them. It was just such a nice, it was so great to witness. And that last picture, so at the end, the camera guy comes up and just takes one picture of the guy who wins all by himself. But I'll tell you what, that's the cheesiest smile I've ever seen. But you know what though, if you ever ask me my why, there you go. I mean, that kid did not stop smiling to this day. Like I saw him at track this morning, and I was just like, you're still smiling, aren't you? So I get so excited for these kids and how well they do, and they'll be going to states this Friday. Xander jumped at 9, Vinay jumped at 12:30. So that's what happened this past weekend. So another highlight, we are actually starting a summer track program. It's going to be Mondays and Thursdays, and it's going to be at the track from 5 to 6:30. The head coach is starting it. I'll make some appearances here and there to teach jumps and hurdles. But we realize we really don't have a feeder program for track. And there's so many events that these kids don't know about. There's pole vault, there's high jump, there's disc, there's shot. So it's our way to kind of introducing from 6th grade to rising seniors. If you want to get more extra work in, this is your chance. So I'm really excited about that, and it's free, so that makes it even better.
Ms. Young, speaking of middle school, did we not have a middle school invitational not too long ago?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Went fairly well, didn't it? I mean,
They did really well. I don't know, well, you want to go ahead and tell you about your daughter?
no.
Yes, that was a long night, but I actually drove the junior high track team that night, which I actually enjoyed because it's a chance for me to kind of get to know the younger kids. And me driving like 6 boys and 3 girls in the car, it was just like, the boys just wanted to, Miss Young, can you just drop us off somewhere? Please just drop us off. And the girls were like, "Burr, burr, 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 burr," and they couldn't. So, yeah, they did a very good job there. It was very high competition, very, very tough competition there. I think, what did Cole do in the high jump?
We had left it by that time.
Cole, I think, was first or
Yeah,
he was
very
first in the
well.
high jump, I want to say.
So
Cole did really, really well. So yes, and his daughter, she ran the mile. She ran the mile, and she got a PR, didn't she? Yeah, she got a PR.
And she placed third.
Yeah, she did. That was tough. That was a tough competition that she was. Okay, so looking ahead. So I was informed G-Force is no longer going to renew their contract with us beyond the school year. So to be proactive, I already met with Eric and John, kind of put our heads together and thinking about security for football games, and I only use them for certain games throughout the year, like rivalries and stuff like that. But I already had 2 people reach out that want to be event workers as well, so we're trying to recruit more faculty / security. But we're going to keep working on it to make sure we have what we're going to do, a game plan before football starts. Athletic awards is Wednesday. I always look forward to that, May 22nd or May 21st. Graduation, evaluations of coaches, and hopefully some vacation somewhere in the summer. So that is my update. Oh my God, it's 10:10. Oh! So it's 10:10, that means we're going into overtime right now. So any questions?
No, I think that's all, other than the fact that you are now requested by some of us to make sure you email him.
Oh, I will. So well, it's going into overtime, so it's going to be in.
No, tell Mike to set up when you go up.
Okay, all right.
Thanks,
See ya.
bye. And Ms. Becker's still not here, so we'll go to the next one. We now recognize members of the public who have signed up to provide comment as stipulated in policy 903. When your name is called, please approach the podium, state your name, confirm you're a resident or taxpayer in the district, and topic of discussion for the record. Please direct your comments to the board as a whole, not an individual. We ask that you limit your comment to 5 minutes or less. The privilege to speak may be interrupted, revoked, or recess of the meeting may be called by the chair if the speaker does not observe reasonable decorum and orderly conduct. Thank you. Ms. Johnson.
My name is Suzanne Johnson, and as a district parent and taxpayer, I'll repeatedly share my concerns about the district's budgeting practices and student proficiency scores. With elections, we hear all kinds of promises from the candidates and even false accusations that rely solely on word of mouth. I, on the other hand, back up what I say with facts that I've gathered from regularly attending school board meetings for years and documentation that I prove showing the research that I've done from the district, state, and other official websites. While it may be an inconvenient truth for some of you, the fact is that you approved millions in new spending on athletic fields and additional facility improvements. Check the minutes. Facing elections, you are now saying no tax increase, but that is untenable until you change your spending priorities. It's not fiscally responsible to pass a budget with an estimated $2.5 million deficit and simply hope for another surplus. Given the current economic environment and cuts in public funding, you can't rely on the windfalls from state or federal government funding or better than expected interest rates or investment returns that have led to previous budget surpluses. Another inconvenient truth is that the current board promoted Dr. Mitchell despite years of declining student proficiency, leading to the lowest PSSA scores in the county. Check the state website where they are published every fall. To quote Dr. Steve Dykstra, a renowned expert in literacy and child development. The school that's on a slow road to better instruction is sacrificing another year of children. In the Gettysburg Connection, candidates Ressler, Yerger, and Ewan argue that progress takes time. But how many more years after a decade will you continue to allow our students to fall behind? I must reiterate, I'm a mother. I stand here, meeting after meeting, advocating for what I believe is best for my child and her fellow classmates in this district. Appallingly, speaking out on issues before the school board has led to me and my child being targeted, harassed, and threatened as an attempt to suppress the inconvenient truths that I share. I'm not a public official, but you've permitted defamatory statements against me during public meetings where only grievances against school officials should be permitted. Dr. Mitzel, Dr. Bell, Janelle Ressler, Jeannie Ewan, Carl Thompson, and Nick Lavelle have attempted to intimidate me, falsely accused me of spreading misinformation, or made other defamatory statements against me at school board meetings, in the newspaper, or on social media. Their actions and failure by this school board and administration as a whole to intervene when others defamed and harassed me has emboldened others and enabled escalation of this misconduct. As public officials, you must serve all district constituents, even when they exercise the right to redress grievances against this governing body as guaranteed by the First Amendment. Beyond how appalling your behavior has been against me, your conduct encouraged deplorable behavior against my child. Recently, I shared with you a social media post defaming my child in response to simply sharing my concerns about the district's budget of all things. Last year, I shared with you concerns for my child's safety when an anonymous letter was sent to my home with the return address of the Adams County Detention Center and Coroner's Office. With absolutely no legal standing to do so, you would deny my request regarding a photographer's access to the sidelines and other restricted areas when my child is participating in sporting or other school events. Even though I made no attempt to limit access to public areas, nor did I attempt to limit access to restricted areas where my child isn't participating. The only safety protocol added last year was a resource officer here at school board meetings, which does absolutely nothing to ensure my safety or the safety of my child beyond this boardroom. I have never, and would never, be malicious or a threat to anyone, and I'm concerned about the unhinged behavior directed at me and my child. If this school board and administration continue to fail to take corrective action, there could be further escalation of the defamation and harassment, or even potentially physical harm against me or my child. You claim to put students first, what about my child? You haven't held each other accountable, but I pray the voters will go to the polls tomorrow and demand the change that can only come from removing Thompson, Ewan, Yerger, and Ressler from this board.
Thank you. Okay. All right, I need a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes of April 14th, 2020.
Nick Bubble, second. Steve Yerger, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the curriculum code curriculum policy meeting of May 6th, 2025.
Nick Bubble, second.
I need a second.
Second board.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I need a motion to approve the finance property supply meeting of May 6th, 2025.
Steve Yerger, so moved.
I'm gonna give it to Brian.
Give it to him.
You want to second it?
I'll second.
There we go. Any comments or concerns? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I need a motion to approve the work session of May 12th, 2025.
Bubble, second.
Second, Ressler.
Any discussion?
I do.
Okay, what's that?
Under new business, there's nothing in there what I said after Ms. Ressler's vote. Nothing.
Now, once again, these are not verbatim, they are,
So I just want to say, I didn't know what was going on last week. I couldn't hear a thing with that say,
Yeah.
and I hope we never do that again. So this is going to be the first time.
Agreed. His mic's
I
off.
can't.
And it's better when
What are you saying should be, needed to be in
Yeah,
there?
what would be the subject that you would like to add to the minutes, Mr. Sullivan?
Well, the subject I would like to add is that I made a comment about the 1% tax increase in the CTI.
So far, I think.
I heard that.
If we'd be okay with adding that Mr. Sullivan shared,
I didn't hear those
spoke about the 1% acting, I mean, with the sound, you did share that the sound was horrible, we acknowledge that the sound was bad. So I think we need to have a little bit of leeway with what's provided.
So if I remember now, I remember a little bit better. You had, your comment was that there's alternatives to dipping into the reserve account, if I remember, just synopsis.
That actually is another one.
Yeah, okay, that's the only thing that I remember.
Oh, and that's what I wanted to correct too. I'm sorry, Carrie. And I probably shouldn't go into that too, so first one, but that was the second one. Thank you, Carl, for bringing that up.
Yeah, so what's the first statement that you would like added?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the first statement under new business?
What did you say?
What would you like added?
I just wanted to add it in, and I noted that the 1% tax increase wasn't needed. And we had a surplus last year.
Because I was talking about this school year, not last school year.
Yeah. Oh, it was said in the comment.
Or last school year.
Yeah, I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see anything that would. Yeah, see, you were in there for under suggested moving funds or pulling from the transportation. So your discussion was that one was already set up in the property supply or proposed on the budget. Because again, these are snippets, not full transcripts. And I don't remember anything at the end after Mr. Ressler spoke. So I think at this point, I'm going to call a vote for the minutes as they stand. So,
Well, are you just calling on the one thing?
no, I'm calling it for the work session, the whole thing, as it stands, because you're in there for.
Yeah, but I wanted to
both
bring up
comments.
under the finance and property, they wrote Mr. Saul just moving funds or pulling from the transportation fund that's been set aside.
Yes,
We already
Well,
approved.
that's not correct.
it's already approved.
Oh, we already did find that.
Yeah, that was 10 minutes ago then.
Sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
All right, we're on the work session.
Wait, could I please ask a clarifying question?
Nothing's changed.
I know. Mr. Sullivan, when you're talking about the finance property portion, are you talking in the work session minutes under finance property supplies? Is
Yes.
that where you're referencing? So we have not approved it yet. What would you like to see added?
That's what it says Mr. Saul suggested moving funds or pulling from the transportation, but it says just moving funds. You know, I suggested, like Carl said, the 3.2 million be pulled back out.
Right, again, for the fourth time, and this is where we're going to stop this, because this is synopsis. This is not a transcription of everything. We don't do that. That's why this is minutes, and this is not transcription. It is a picture of quick things. We don't, that's why they're called minutes. They're not a transcription. If you want the transcription, you have to listen to the recordings. So that's what this is supposed to be. So if somebody wants to further hear that, then they would then go pull up the recording. Sometimes they're not as great and elaborate. And if you would like to.
Well, that one's special.
If you want to increase.
I mean, it was. That was really bad.
You know, like 2% to cover recording devices, I think Tom was great. They appreciate that. But yeah, that's the way the system's supposed to work. So we're not changing anything at this point. Because everything is noted because it's a snapshot.
I would like to make a sunshine act challenge.
Okay, go ahead, make your comment.
I have not seen the minutes, but I would like to make sure that there's no viewpoint discrimination since you're not adding Mr. Sullivan's comments. Did you add the extensive grandstanding by Mrs. Ressler at the end of the meeting? I mean, that would be viewpoint discrimination and a violation of the Sunshine Act and First Amendment.
I didn't think Sharon taxes were
Oh, just Sullivan's back for grandstanding.
Vice Counsel, minutes do reflect accurately, and there is, to the best of the knowledge, there is no violation. And we can move on.
It doesn't list out everything she just said, it says there's, that she listed, it
Right.
doesn't list everything.
Right.
But it listed nothing Sullivan said. That's viewpoint discrimination.
Okay, at this point, voting, all those in favor of taking the minutes as they are, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed. Motion carries. All right. Okay, Steve, you're up.
Okay, Finance Property Supply Committee report. If anybody has any questions on item A or O, please request a letter to be pulled and voted on separately. If not, we will recommend